Okay, so first we're going to talk about the ventricular muscle. No, sorry. We're going to talk about action potentials in two places, which is... So I'm just going to... So we have action potential in two places. First, we have the ventricular muscle and the SA node. In the ventricular muscle, the action potential has 5 phases. So and the first phase is phase 0. It's the depolarization phase. So in this, what happens is that sodium channels open quickly and sodium rushes in, making the inside of the cell more positive. And then we have phase 1. And this is a small dip. Kind of like that. And this occurs because potassium goes outward. And then we have phase 2. And this is the plateau phase. I didn't know how to spell plateau. So this is kind of important in the heart muscle. So calcium channels open and calcium flows in. So this balances the potassium going out. And so this helps the heart contract properly. And then number 4 is phase 3. And this is the repolarization phase. Okay. So in this, what's happening is that calcium channels close and more potassium leaves the cell, bringing the battery back down. And then we have phase... Okay. Phase 4 is the resting membrane phase. I'm just going to put RMP. And this is where things stay stable until the next heartbeat. Okay, now for the SA node. So, that's my cue to go to sleep. So phase 4, it's a slow depot. It's called the funny current, where sodium slowly leaks in until until threshold is reached. And then we have phase 0, and this is caused by calcium rushing in. And then phase 3, repolarization, potassium flows out of the cell. Okay, so that's that for that. And now for the ECG tracing and the PQRS-T waves. So the EKG, it shows the electrical activity of the heart. So the P wave represents aorta. No, I don't know if I'm saying this right. Depolarization. So basically the top of the chambers of the heart are getting ready to contract. And then the QRS complex, it shows ventricular depolarization. And this is when the bottom of the chambers are activated. And then for T wave, it represents ventricular or the recovery phase. Well, there's that for that. And I'm just going to draw a line here. Okay, next we can talk about the STEMI versus NSTEMI. So STEMI is a full blockage of a coronary artery on the ECG. It just means a big chunk of the heart muscle isn't getting oxygen, and the NSTEMI is a partial blockage where there is no ST elevation, but you'll see markers of the heart damage like troponins in the blood. So yeah. So now we have okay. So inotropic is, this means strength contraction. So NE increases this by increasing calcium availability. Anyways, and then this does not affect the ventricles, and lusitropic is relaxation speed. So NE helps the heart relax faster by speeding up calcium reuptake, and acetylcholine slows it down. And then chronotropic equals heart rate. So NE increases the heart rate by speeding up the SA node, so that there's faster depolarization, and acetylcholine slows it down by making it harder for the SA node to reach the threshold. And so yeah. And now we have calcium in cardiac muscle contraction. So calcium plays an important role in heart muscle contraction. So when an action potential reaches the muscle, calcium enters through the L-type calcium channels on the cell membrane. This triggers calcium to be released from the SR, and calcium binds to troponin and it starts contracting. Afterward, calcium is pumped back into the SR by the circumpump, and some goes out of the cell through the sodium calcium exchanger and calcium ATPase. Okay, so during the cardiac cycle, there are main 4 stages. So we have the isovolumetric contraction. And that just means the ventricle contracts, pressure rises, but valves are closed, so volume doesn't change. And then we have ejection. And once the pressure is high enough, the aortic valve opens and the blood flows into the aorta. And then we have and so the ventricle relaxes, pressure falls, and the valves close again. And then the last one is the filling. And this is when pressure in the ventricle drops below the atrium and the mitral valve opens and blood flows in. During this blood changes, pressures go up and down, and we hear 2 heart sounds, which is lub. And this is mitral valve closes, and that's start of cytosol, and then we hear dub. And this is aortic valve closes, and that's the start of diastole. And so yeah, that's all of it.